Welcome one, welcome all. This is the USL League One dramatic crescendo. This is Greenville, South Carolina, where today's match is presented by Spectrum. And on a blustery Saturday in the upstate, it's a red-lettered fixture afoot. The Battle of the Belt becomes the battle for survival for Greenville Triumph as they welcome the old foe, Union Omaha. And we welcome you to the USL League One. Howdy, folks. Peyton Gallagher here with Ross Davenport. Union Omaha clinching their playoff spot last week. They've been excellent. Greenville, massive work to do.
Yeah, thanks to Charlotte. Stoppage time victory over Alta last night. Greenville on the precipice of missing out in the postseason for the first time ever. A loss this afternoon would mean Charlotte's magic number over Greenville would only be 1 point with 2 to play.
Now, Greenville have been tracking in the right direction in the last couple of matches, and largely because of how good they've been defensively, Ross, having not conceded in 3.
Rick Wright's been tinkering all season at the back. 10 players have got starts. They're either in the back 3 or 4, but they found their rhythm of late. 3 straight clean sheets coming into today to keep their playoff hopes alive. They hadn't even had back-to-back clean sheets previously this season until this nice little run.
Triumph have not conceded in 3 consecutive games now for the first time since 2021, but they will have to continue that defensive assuredness given the opponents they will face the rest of the way, including Union Omaha today. 3 of the best and hottest teams in the league left on the docket.
Yeah, Tormenta, the hottest team in the league next week. They'll clinch a playoff spot later today if they manage to match what Greenville did a couple of weeks ago and claim 3 points at Spokane. Finish off, you see there at Knoxville, who may have clinched first or second, so who knows how much they have to play for in that last week.
Only 1 loss between the teams in that stretch, and one of those was Knoxville beating South Georgia. If there is anything good to look for in this specific matchup, though, for Greenville, it's that they had a lot of success against Union Omaha last time on this field.
Yeah, it's much different Omaha now, though, than it was back then a week there. But even for Greenville, Leo Castro had a brace. He's coming off the bench tonight. Ben Zakowski scored in this one. He's not even in the 18. Omaha, 22 touches in the opponent's box to Greensville's 8, despite the 3-0 score.
So much of that forced forward by Vincenzo Candela, who, since taking over as the caretaker manager, has groomed Omaha into one of the league's best sides.
On August 2nd, 3 weeks after Vinny Candela took over from Dom Castiota, Omaha were dead last in the table. Since that 1-0 loss at Knoxville on August 16th, they've won 7 games, tied 2, and have outscored their opponents 23-7. Now have a legit shot at a home quarterfinal. 27 points for Omaha since Candela took the helm, compared to 14 prior to that. We are just about ready to make another installment in one of the league's grand old rivalries. Greenville Triumph have to have 3 points. Union Omaha fighting for the home playoff seeds when we return here in South Carolina. It's Greenville Triumph and Union Omaha.
Fox Carolina First Alert Weather, the upstate's most accurate forecast.
That means you can make plans for your family.
Today, tomorrow, and down the road.
Between 1 and 5 in the upstate.
First alert weather day for Tuesday.
Fog out there this morning across some areas.
Some gusty winds.
Fox Carolina First Alert Weather.
Start your morning right.
It's the one thing in the morning. Get you ready for the day.
61 on the way to school.
What to wear out the door this morning.
The first alert on breaking news.
Breaking news now.
To protect your kids. Totally shut down right now.
This morning's grand opening.
Fox Carolina, the morning news.
El Greenville Triumph y Liberty están orgullosos de asociarse con Telemundo Carolina del Sur para mantenerte informado con noticias locales en español y disfrutar de toda la increíble programación de Telemundo. Disponible con antena en el canal 31.1 y ahora también en Fútbol TV, Hulu Live, Spectrum y YouTube TV.
Welcome to Wood Creek Dental, where dental care dental care, from our family to yours.
Today, presented by Spectrum, proud partner of the Greenville Triumph. Digging into the lineup for Greenville, the 11 chosen by Rick Wright. Ross, how do you make this out?
Yeah, 2 changes, as you mentioned before. Rick Wright, Siobhan Marsh, and Pascal Corbina make way for Zeke Soto, and Ivan Ajakwa making his first midfield start since the last time these two teams met back in June.
Now, Greenville have only played the same group of 11 players to start a game one time this year. Another change with Ajakwa in the center of the park. We will see exactly how that back line actually functions in game with Patti on the left. For Union Omaha, the 4-2-3-1 has been the choice starting formation for Vincenzo Candela, and that will be the group today.
Yeah, 3 changes for the visitors. Outgo, Bronick, Martinez, and Wooten Income, Ors Navarro, Pino, and pretty attacking lineup for Vinny Candela, the interim head coach, looking to perhaps secure a job for himself next season here in these last few games.
He's made a good resume in this first run at the helm. Prosper Kasim, a man to keep tabs on. He's been fast and firing, having scored in the last 3 games. For Omaha, Evan Lee, the centurion of the club, trusted in a pivotal moment, honored before the game for making his 200th appearance for the club. He's been here since day one, as his team is staring down the barrel of possible playoff elimination, missing out on the final party for the first time in club history. He will lead the way from the front. There is a bubbling anticipation here at Paladin Stadium. These teams have shared plenty of animosity down the last couple of years as we are in motion. Greenville, 3 games unbeaten, 3 games unscored upon. Here at home, Union Omaha unbeaten in their last 9 and trying to get into the home playoff spots. Nearly given away straight away by Gunther Rankenberg. Foul is awarded immediately. Drew Klemp is our center official today. Probably a tall task for him, as you can expect a feisty tempo in this one.
Yeah, certainly a lot more on the line for Greenville today. Their playoff hopes hanging by a thread. Not sure how many of them were watching that game last night between Charlotte and AB Alta. Like Charlotte were going to have the win early, then got back to 2-2, and that last-minute winner by Swaybu Maru certainly perhaps changed the outlook for Greenville in this game. Even a draw would have helped them out immensely, increased their chances by quite a bit of them making the playoffs. They obviously have to win these last 3 games, basically, to have a shot.
We will see which way the wind blows for Greenville. As for the Fox Carolina weather report, it is a very windy day. Should influence the ball when it's in the air. At crisp fall weather, 68 degrees at kickoff. This midday Saturday matinee.
You saw in the clearance there, the wind clearly coming hard left to right will favor Omaha in the first half. You never know which way the wind's going to go in the second half. I remember playing youth soccer, your coach would always tell you, well, take the wind in the first half, because you never know, it might change.
East coast of the state being slammed by remnants of a dissipating nor'easter today. Weather is supposed to avoid us. Players should remain nice and dry. As trying to do so in the contest, literally. Greenville triumph as they are backed in ahead of this throw-in.
Taken there by Dion Akoff, the veteran. Still got plenty of pace down that right-hand side. Now started 5 of the last 7 games, trying to cement that spot going into the postseason. She mentioned before the game, she said Peyton clinched now that postseason spot, now with a chance perhaps at a home playoff game, and we know how difficult they are to beat at Werner Park.
Impossible, in fact, last year, putting Greenville out of the postseason. The league semifinal, en route to a championship, another star above the badge, and in many ways, that is what's been the source of the bird in the saddle, if you will, between the clubs. Greenville and Union Omaha, they've been the standard bearers for the division.
I think if Omaha finally had a bit of a rest after that crazy schedule over the last couple of weeks, and then that crazy game last weekend, nearly 5-hour rain delay. Give them credit as well as the grounds crew there. Werner Park for getting that game finished. So we know how things are down the stretch here. Not much time to fit in games.
Brendan Fricke recently became the league's all-time minutes played leader, jumping ahead of teammate Evan Lee, who gives the ball a chase. Out of play here.
Every year we talk about, will the veteran crew for this Greenville Triumph return next year? Obviously, with the new stadium ready at some point next season. You'd hope to at least see a few of them back to see that new stadium come to fruition. You never know what's going on in the minds of those that run things behind the scenes.
Zane Bum prepping the long throw. Of course, all those veterans focused on keeping the perfect playoff record intact as they approach the final third. Chapa Herrera in. The counter could be on if Omaha can escape quickly. Soto taking it, trying to play in Ropapa Mensah, who's left it wide. The flag stayed down, but it's a goal kick.
It did, to my surprise. I thought Mensah was a couple of yards offside. Good look up by Zeke Soto, though, here. Chance for Mensah to make it 1-0 early. What a game changer that could have been.
Unable to cause injury there, but a good chance to look at the injury report today, presented by Upstate Spine and Sport. Big omission is Toby Sims, still unavailable for Greenville.
Yeah, Malone and Gomez obviously out for the season, as well as Griffin Thomas. We asked Rick Wright this week if Griffin Thomas had a chance at coming back before the end of the season. He said probably not. Unfortunately for him, the injury took care of his entire 25 campaign. Hopefully we'll see him next year.
Connor Evans. Greenville just starting to spin up. About 5 minutes into the game, playing with that heightened sense of urgency. Rushed in, Fricky. Ate him up a bit. Had to go low to put contact to it. Proved easy for Rashid Nuhu. Notably did not start first game of Union Omaha's title defense in this venue. That 3-0 thrashing. Russell Shealy was the goalkeeper on that day.
It was always going to be tough for Brandon Fricky. Get enough power on that head. He was perhaps just looking to flick it over to somebody on the far post. A little too close to Nuhu in the end.
From range, it's a skipper into the gloves of Rashid Nuhu from Ropapa Mensah.
Of course, Nuhu, one of the only two players remaining from the time these two teams actually did meet in the championship game. Blake Malone, the other one we mentioned, injured, will not feature the rest of the season. So Nuhu, yeah, the lone remaining Omaha player from that 3-0 win. Back in the, seems years ago now.
Time flies, as do Union Omaha. They can't quite get out of their own end though. Lusu with a firm clearance. Ors Navarro, bull in a china shop.
Strong there from Ors Navarro. Brandon Fricky, not a small man. It was coming in at quite pace, but Ors Navarro shook off that challenge.
Based on how hard hitting the early going of this game has been, start to understand why Ivan Ajakwa was picked a little bit more by his manager.
He does provide that big physical presence in the middle of the park. We've seen him play almost everywhere on the park this year, other than goalkeeper, I think.
Had that injury right as he was getting going. Ivan Ajakwa has been getting back to the beat, though. Used as a substitute in each of the last 3 games. He gets the opening go here in this one today. Mateo Foz sniping away and wide for Akoff. Dion Akoff ranging away from Patti. The ball served in. Ricky steps in, clears it out for a corner.
You and I were talking earlier today about the fact that 5 Omaha players from that final back in 2021 are now playing for Madison. Of course, their playoff lives in danger as well this week. They really need a win later today.
I mean, even just in looking at what Omaha were last year compared to this, 33 of the 59 goals they scored that season, no longer on this team. They've always made use of dead balls, though. 6 corner kick goals scored this year for Los Bujos. Second most in the division, or top of the league in that category a year prior. The wind will be a factor as the corner flag is ironed away from goal. Ball in. Rankenberg makes easy work of it.
A foul in the box just outside the 6-yard area. Good claim by Gunther, those. Yes, you mentioned the wind. Got to be careful on those corner kicks.
Always good for a goalkeeper to just get that first checking of the stick on their gloves in a game like this.
I think as a goalie, though, you prefer the wind coming towards you. It's those ones where the wind's blowing the other way. You think about coming for it, and then it blows a couple of yards away from you, and you're left in no man's land. Just got to be careful you don't give up Olympico directly from a corner with the wind coming this way.
Certainly on those balls coming from the wide areas, Omaha will supply plenty, averaging about 18.5 crosses per game, which is the highest mark by a wide margin in USL League One history.
Yeah, love to get those fullbacks pushing out wide, up the pitch, getting those balls in like we saw Akoff do a couple of minutes ago.
Max Schneider putting his foot on the ball, team's leader in all categories regarding pretty much anything that has to do with tempo and pace of play. Team's leader in touches, passes, top 5 all time for a single season in those particular thresholds in 2025 for him, the big German. To the top of the area, dealt with by Chapa Herrera. Needles away at the back and keeps running through midfield. Connor Evans brought into the fold. Flashing it across. It's Evan Lee on the front end, waiting reinforcement in the middle. Soto mishits. Ropapa Mensah saved at point blank by Rashid Nuhu. Stood sturdy in the face of the threat.
Golden chance for Ropapa Mensah, his second already in this game. Evan Lee didn't have much on his left foot. Paddy with the complete shank on his attempt, but it fell to Ropapa Mensah, who's given a little too much space by Brent Coleman. The striker really should have done a little better there in firing it straight at Nuhu.
It certainly feels like Omaha understand exactly how important today's game is.
This is the home quarterfinal. It'll be superb. Going back to the crossing thing we were talking about, you got to remember that this Omaha team also changed formations basically at the back. Before they went on this great run, they were 3 at the back all season, went to 4. They still maintain a great width, great crossing ability.
Should say Greenville, the team playing with their tails up right now. USL on the CBS Sports Network closes out October with a championship Western Conference showdown. Playoff-bound New Mexico United welcome Oakland Roots SC on Sunday, October 19th at 5 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Network. A couple former League Oneers in that game. A good look at Mukwele Akale as well as Wolfgang Prentice, who has the best name in the United Soccer League.
That's debatable.
I don't think it is. Evan Lee, much more plain stated. Zeke Soto, or rather that's Chapa Herrera on the ball. Throttling wide, finds the feet now of Zeke Soto, who lines up the veteran Akoff and left too much of it dangling. Ponte dives in, off the carom with Brandon Knapp, it's out for a throw. And Jacqua using his body forcefully into the final third.
Is he the only man in USL League One that plays with his shirt tucked in? I don't pay attention to it. In every game I do, who's got their shirt tucked in on it?
I'm racking the database right now.
You obviously can see it a little more with this uniform that Greenville is wearing, because there's such contrasting colors. This is true. As I always say, his mom's got to be proud of it.
Great interview on USL All Access this week. Joe Malfa, as well as Devin Kerr. I believe the turn of phrase is tucked in, locked in. Jacqua, it's not the steadiest of first touches, but does weight a ball well into the path of Anthony Patti. Pumping it across for Ropapa Mensah, whose shot is carried wide. 3 good looks for him inside the first quarter hour, none have really done too much trouble to Rashid Nuhu.
Yeah, great ball in by Patti. Coleman was well positioned between Mensah and the goal. It's one of those ones you wish Leo Castro was there for. Missing that really aerial presence with his limited minutes of late with that foot injury.
That has been a problem for Greenville all year long. They've been a bit wasteful. Generated chances, not enough end products. On display today, actually the two teams that are maybe best in terms of manufacture. Shots on target, and touches in the box as Mensah has one here. Akoff just trying to alleviate some of the tension now. He has one to throw. They have not stopped drumming all year, the Reedy River Riot.
If you're questioning that jacket in the middle, it is retro 80s night. So fitting in perfectly there. And they gave away some cool little fanny packs today to the fans.
What a touch. Chapo Herrera putting the ball to sleep. Soto was skilled. Stumbled by Akoff. Looks like a free kick is coming.
A little harsh down Akoff there. I thought he had position on Soto. It was a lovely little dig though.
Sharon Gingrich, Mateusz Dolski. The linesman today is Joshua Belk, will be our fourth official. Greenville owning the game. About a third of the way through the first frame of play here in South Carolina. Chapo Herrera. Ponte with room, with runners. One of them waiting is Robles, Rodrigo Robles. Carving in for Evan Lee, who mishits. Block provided at the back, it looked like by Stefano Pino. Omaha just trying to do anything they can to assert some claim to the ball.
I know Stefano Pino has been around forever because I saw him play in person for the Fort Lauderdale Strikers, Peyton.
Oh my
back
goodness.
in the day. Yeah, Journeyman's been around forever, but he can put him home, that's for sure. Navarro couldn't score from anywhere.
Certainly did last match. One assist for him off the bench. Poteo Faz. Tidy work in the box. Pulled up by Zain Bub. Prosper Kasim carving in across. Away by Evans. Rodrigo Robles.
You saw how the wind held that. I'm not going to call that. It wasn't cross, but it wasn't going that far, that deep post, but just held up there. The wind for so long. Connor Evans had a chance to get underneath it. You can see if these two teams decide to keep it on the ground a little bit more as this game goes on, depending which way you're going.
Lusu. Now Schneider. Shuffled all the way wide for Pino.
Just means you got to put a little pep on some of these crosses so the wind doesn't affect it. Just means you got to be a little more precise. Whoops.
Miscommunication in the midfield.
You were talking about shots earlier. Omaha now lead the league in shots. I know Greenville did for a long time. Omaha on this run since being under Candela.
Only lost one of their last 12, and that was to the team currently atop the table, one Knoxville.
So perhaps call for the pull down there.
Brent Coleman, player that his manager had heaps of praise for in our conversation with him, Vincenzo Candela.
Yeah, he was a guy earlier in the season that was under a lot of pressure from Union Omaha fans for his performances, but since the move to the forward, the back, certainly been playing a lot better, showing his MLS quality off, even at his age.
And that was the big shift. Don Casciato moving on to Tampa Bay Rowdies, a well-earned step up in level, but really a back three manager. The back four simplified things a little bit, allowed Omaha to find themselves. That being said, all the underlying numbers, not that downtick to start the season, kind of indicated they have been a bit unlucky. As soon as they started playing some more home games, things looked good for them. They have not stopped.
And Don Casciato's obviously done a good job in Tampa, got them just outside the playoff spots with 3 games remaining.
I believe they are 5 games unbeaten now, as they're just outside the Eastern Conference playoff line. Okay. Download the FanSaves app and follow the Triumph for access to exclusive deals at your favorite restaurants and breweries.
Well, XG doesn't always tell the story of games, but in this one with the chances that Rapapa Mensa's had 0.82 XG already for Greenville. Omaha yet to have a shot, 6 shots for Greenville.
Bit of a aimless ball in behind, trying to probe that space. Pampamensa has certainly settled. Leo Castro was the one that was setting the tempo, pace for the club early on. He is on the bench today, working back from injury. Ropampa, as mentioned previous, the hat trick last time he played on this field against Forward Madison. High level of activity from the big striker. 5 or more box touches in 6 of the last 8 games. Only had done that 3 times on the campaign prior. He might already be there today in this game. Given away cheaply. Lands with a thud at the foot of Zeke Soto. Ushered to the attacking end by Greenville. Mensah. Lusu just able to hang on, even if it was with his fingertips there at the end.
A couple of big challenges in their center circle. I think everybody's back on their feet.
Omaha hurried all the way back to their goalkeeper. This is beautiful build-up play. Punching the gaps, Union Omaha. Ostrom, team's leader in chances created. Prosper Kasim jutting wide. They were rushing as many numbers into the box as they could. Unfortunately, all of them ran to the near post.
Fans, download the Triumph app to vote for the
Certainly the prettiest bit of football we've seen so far tonight from Omaha. Unfortunately, the end result wasn't there. See Prosper Kasim getting more involved centrally.
DJ Shea.
Omaha have been able to fashion some of the prettiest stuff at times in the league. Offense has been coming thick and fast for them. Scored multiple goals in games on 14 occasions this year, the second highest total in the division. Night and day from where they were in the first couple of months. Summer turned to fall. The light turned on for Los Bujos. Owusu. Schneider. This is Evan Lee. Undone by Max Schneider, and he commits the foul.
Max Schneider, he's been a yellow card machine this season.
Very true.
Not used to getting fouled. He's a big boy in the middle of the park. He had a run of 12 yellows in 15 games over the summer.
Well, the 13 yellow cards he has picked up this year are the joint most by an individual in league history. Can you guess who he's tied with? Weekly trivia installment. Give you some time to think. Need an answer by the 24th minute.
Okay.
No phoning friends. Ostrom. Brandon Knapp. Contested by Evan Lee and hounded back to Coleman. Well spotted in the middle and fanned wide for Dion Akoff. Rushing straight at Patti. Put it into a dangerous spot, and Fricky will send it away. Looks like Ivan Ajakwa is struggling mightily. Pause in play. It's time to tell you that you can watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DNA, nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Charleston Battery take on Birmingham Legion FC on Saturday, October 25th at 5 p.m. Eastern on 2DNA. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. And Ajakwa still struggling to get his wits about him.
Maxi Schenfeld was going to be one of my guesses.
No. It is an active player. Looks like Ajakwa was grabbing at his neck region.
Let's see what happened here to Ajakwa. Oh, he got hit by the ball. Brandon Fricky. Friendly fire.
Plenty uncomfortable. Fricky was not shy to get it cleared, and by any means necessary. Fortunately, Casualty of that appears to have been Ivan Ajakwa.
You can hear the wind picking up now on the on-field mics as there's a look through the dugout to Rick Wright.
Thought that was just the sound of Rick Wright contemplating.
Maybe he may be sighing.
He's been quite candid about it being a pretty challenging year. He said his wonderful wife has helped keep him honest as the ball is served in at the back posts. Always a bright demeanor though, Rick Wright. As his team look inspired on the break. Scrambling forward, Ropapamensa wide of Robles. Paved through Acuff with the recovery. And at full spread and sprint. They still failed to fully clear. All out of sorts. And still.
The squeal from the crowd was the appropriate reaction to that Rashid Nuhu touch. And Dion Acuff, the one guy that Ropapamensa probably not going to beat for pace on this back line.
Now the wind obviously affects the flight of the ball, but what maybe isn't thought about is how it might affect vision, players having to fight against that wind. I'm not going to say that it dries out the eyes specifically, but if you've ever looked head on into a wind gust, it's not exactly the most comfortable thing to do.
There's not many things I would like to be doing into the wind, I would say, except perhaps hitting a wedge in goal.
Speaking of into the wind, swung straight out of play.
See some Omaha players warming up. Vinny Candela made 3 changes at halftime last weekend, but obviously coming off a Wednesday matchup. That we'll see that tonight. Well, this afternoon, I should say. We should have had a fine bucket for that, Pete.
I still haven't gotten that answer. Prosper Kasim, time for trivia maybe later. Pause and play for the corner. You got one more guess.
Okay.
Corner kick,
Give me a few minutes.
Omaha.
No. 24th minute. We're in the 25th.
Is it a center back?
No. Greenville with plenty of physical threat ahead of this corner kick. Just in compliment to how proficient they've been on these corners, 8 headed goals is top 3 in the league. Flicked on. It was a dainty little delivery off the back heel. It looked like of Schneider. Does not pick the lock. Now Sergio Ors Navarro really battling is Evan Lee. He's been everywhere so far. Brandon Knapp measuring a ball in, and it goes over the head of Zeke Soto. It will be a goal kick. Final answer, please.
Oh. No, go ahead. Hey, give it to me.
It's happened this year. It's Mikey Lopez of Portland Hearts of Pine, also on 13. One of plenty of former Birmingham Legion legends that have made a name themselves in the league this year. 2 of them on the field right now, Stefano Pino and, of course, Prosper Kasim. Prosper Kasim having scored in 3 consecutive games now, for the first time since his first 3 games with Birmingham Legion. Probably the club's all-time great. Enzo Martinez also in those discussions. Ivan Ajakwa. Anthony Patti. Playfully away. Constructing the move, Greenville. Zeke Soto. Arrow to nobody in particular. Regained by Ajakwa. Greenville bringing the fight high again. Can they manifest anything of this mounting pressure? Ajakwa falls flat on the foot. Ropapamensa held up by striker of Union Omaha, Pato Boteo Faz, and as a reward for that effort, Union Omaha are on approach. Steadied into the box over the head of Boteo Faz and flashed away. Acuff scrambles in and gets trucked down by Zeke Soto. Now for what's been what feels like the 3rd or 4th time, he's on the scene of a crime. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship from the Academy to the big league. Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com. The latest Select product specials and more. Select, Ross, They call it
the player's choice.
There it is. That ball is set precisely for Charlie Ostrom. Served in, spinning away. And maybe the most true example of how the wind will affect the flight today on that one.
Looking for the floater there. Just floated too far.
Moved infield. Cross coming. And hooked away. Takeoff down. Greenville and Omaha. Greenville need all 3 points. If not, they won't be mathematically eliminated, but would only require a couple of other results to see them out next weekend. They'd certainly not be in control of their own fate. Top of the area. And threads all the way through to Dion Akoff. Determinedly forward to Prosper Kasim, who's walled off by Evan Lee. Plenty of tooth in the tackle from the veteran. Now Chapa Herrera is chopped down, yellow card. Prosper Kasim crumples instantly.
Just caught accidentally by Chapa on the follow through. Yellow card for Kasim. Here stopping a promising attack, just clipped it on the foot there. Yeah, Chapa on the tumble, catching Kasim on the back of his leg with his cleats. Prosper Kasim, only 28 years old. He was around for so long in the USL Championship. It's only a great pickup for Omaha. Omaha with 69% possession over the last 15 minutes. Greenville certainly had the edge in the early proceedings, just couldn't put away any of those early chances. Still out shooting Omaha 6-0. Omaha sneaking their first shot of any kind, despite Omaha having 60% possession in this contest.
Chapa Herrera. Patti. Pulsed into Ropapa Mensah, who goes down. Dispossessed by Max Schneider. One right back. Ooh. Evan Lee thought he had it clean.
Well, Max Schneider was leaning heavily into Evan Lee, and all Evan Lee did was move. Take another look at it here. Just shoulder to shoulder battle that Max Schneider loses. But somehow wins the free kick. Not sure about that decision by referee Klemp.
One thing is for sure, Evan Lee looks like he's turned back the clock today. '200th appearance, it looks more like his 20th. Tilted wide. Spinning his wheels is Charlie Ostrom. Got plenty for company. Finds none of them. Was looking for Sergio Ors Navarro. Taking the risk and trying to dribble away was Chapa Herrera. It's contained by Rodrigo Robles and sent spiraling away by Bub. Spinning a twist from Chapa Herrera. Now Evan Lee has options to evaluate. Picks out Patti.
Patti had a good chance to swing that ball into the box. He had players flooding forward. Instead, chose to go backwards.
Connor Evans able to clear the first barricade. Wusu wins at first contact and second. Appears that it's come at a cost for both Zane Bub and Ropapa Mensah. Bub wandering up into the attack.
Collision here once again, friendly fire. Ropapa Mensah leaping up and finding his way into Zane Bub, who you and I both think scored the goal in this game, in this matchup last time out. We didn't give it to him. The own goal, that is.
Unfortunately for Greenville, own goals have not necessarily been a rarity when playing at Union Omaha. Last year, Tyler Pollock was the first player in either USL Championship or USL League One history to have multiple in a game against Union Omaha.
Forgot about that one.
Pollock on the bench today. Not as useful an option out wide in a system that plays with a back three. Robles latching on the 1-2. Rodrigo Robles carried tall. Looked like it took a block. Greenville players retreating nonetheless.
Yeah, first time we've really got to mention Rodrigo Robles' name much in this game. Caught this one well, just always going high over Nuhu's goal. Nuhu was scrambling though, he wasn't sure about where it was going when it initially left his boot.
That definitely took a deflection though.
Couldn't really tell from that angle. Too many heavy complaints from the Greenville players.
Chapo Herrera. Soto. Snuck away by Omaha. Prodded forward, and Fricky had the reading the whole way.
Yeah, Brandon Free's going to have to be busy tonight on that side, because Connor Evans, you'll see, will push forward and pinch in as well, trying to make it more of a midfield five. He's been so effective there in the middle of the park when he has played there this season, but that does leave them with that three at the back, which means Fricky's got to cover across like he did there beautifully.
The ball has escaped out over the line. Download the Fansays app and follow the Triumph for access to exclusive deals at your favorite restaurants and breweries. Build up for this one. Long waited. Battle for the belt. Rubber match in season between these two. Vaunted foes that have set the standard for the division. Now here's the trivia question I do expect you to get. How many times have we seen these two teams, one of them, feature in a final?
In an actual final that got played?
Yeah, we'll do it that way.
Scheduled to play.
Well, the one that was scheduled to be played featured both of them. From distance, it's off the block of Zane Bupp.
So we're counting that one?
Sure.
Okay. Say 4?
Sounds right. I was asking you to tell me.
You know how my memory is.
I believe the number is actually 5.
Okay.
Of course, Greenville trying to stave off postseason elimination.
Listen,
First time in club history today.
I didn't even remember to leave my house on time today for this job. So that tells you where my head is at most of the time.
Not touching that. Greenville have been playing this one with a peppy bounce in their cadence. Not the right kind of focus and energy, as you would expect. That really bad downturn in their performance at a crucial time that put them behind the 8 ball. Beaten in their last 3. On the road against Spokane, a huge victory before a draw 0-0 against Chattanooga last time out. Into the gap, Ors Navarro delivers the first real clean look at goal. Not so clean, I guess, to that point, as it's blocked out of play.
Yeah, Rick Wright said he was very disappointed in that draw at Chattanooga because they dominated the game. He was talking about how Chattanooga play. You and I were talking about the amount of passes they've had this season. 6,400 to Avialta's 14,000. It's not pretty a sucker to watch, but it's certainly been effective this season.
Pretty is all about perspective. Scott McKenzie thinks it's a Mona Lisa. Probably in line to receive pretty hearty Coach of the Year shout for what he's done with the Red Wolves.
Yeah, this certainly can be effective in the postseason as well when everything gets a little tighter.
Connecting the dots as Zeke Soto. The youngster zips one wide, and again, the elements have their plots and plans as it gets over the boot of Rodrigo Robles. Seen a lot of interchange from the wingers so far from Greenville. Visit shoptriumph.com to check out the latest merch and kit launches.
So they had some new t-shirts this week. Obviously, the retro jacket. I think I saw one of a whole new retro series, which was pretty cool looking.
Still trying to figure out who I need to call. Leave that on my doorstep expeditiously. That shell jacket.
Call the shop, Pate. That's who you call.
That would be a good place to start. They do, in fact, sell them. Gunther Rankenberg. He's been a spectator as much as anybody today so far. Jacques needed more patience and calm on the ball there. He's lost it towards Navarro, who can't keep it on.
Yeah, wind even affecting the balls on the ground with this turf.
Connor Evans. Mensah loses his balance, but does just about retain it for Greenville, who have numbers on the break. Chapa Herrera leading the party forward. Herrera whittling and weaving. Whacked down, no call.
It's a risky tackle by a man who already had a yellow. Prosper Kasim certainly made a good amount of contact from behind.
I wonder if the referee was playing that scenario at all in his mind. Tackle like that, stopping a break in that fashion from behind. I mean, you're the referee. You tell me that probably rises to the threshold for a second yellow card, potentially, correct?
We may get a look at it later, but certainly a challenge from behind. 25 yards out. Problem for Chaparrera was that Papa Mensah was back on the ground, 30 yards behind him, missing one of his outward options. Robles was trying to get involved, and then Chaparrera looked like he got shoved down from behind.
Cross coming, cued away by Evans. Cross floated in and nodded off course. Robles calculating. Zane Bupp positions himself as a threat once more. Greater one still on the wide side. Soto released the ball late, but it does finally find its way to Evans. Cross coming off the head of Papa Mensah, who glances wide on the header. It is out of play, and a chance to look back at the foul from Prosper Kasim. As you tell me, the fact that he's on a yellow is not supposed to affect this call at all, correct?
I think he may have got a toe on the ball, but it seems like there was a lot of contact from on Chaparrera from behind before the toe got in there, but not a ton of complaining from Chapa, who can be prone to that kind of thing.
The only reason I say that is maybe a teaching moment here, because that kind of tackle, if it was called a foul, probably has to be a yellow, correct?
I would agree, first or second.
Does not matter how aggressive the actual tackle is, it's where it comes and where it comes from.
Yeah, another stopping a promising attack right up the middle. Prosper Kasim, a lucky man not to be out of this game already there, you'd have to say. But listen, Drew Klemp had a better view than we did.
This is very true. Always important to factor that in. There was a linesman on that side that had a better vantage of where the ball actually was, the right side of the attacking player. It is a corner for Greenville. As you can see from the corner flag, the wind has died down quite a bit. Final throws of the first half.
It's probably interesting how the wind comes in the stadium because of the raised bits behind the goals.
It's a bit of a swirl, you would have to imagine, on the actual field itself. Evan Lean mischievously just kind of orbiting the goalkeeper. Zane Bupp bobbing about at the back posts. Connor Evans without swing. Positioned in the middle. Dodged away. Chopper Herrera gathering all the pieces together and gets going. Herrera still Transfer to Zane Bob, who strikes in a cross. Greenville, go ahead, but the flag goes up. Ponte down in a pile of pain. Offside is the call. The goal immediately canceled out.
What a ball in by Zane, but that's the kind of cross this game was looking for. Came from a centre back. Whipped in with pace, right into the danger area. Paddy paid the price. We'll take a look at it here, see how far offside he was. Yeah, just drifting half yard past that last shoulder of Owusu.
Ponte is still down. Once more, there is no Toby Sims. Ponte has played more of a traditional left back today compared to where he's been in the left side of a back three. The question becomes, if it has to change, how does Rick Wright do that? In his mind, though, he'll be asking Ponte to see if he can at least run out the end of this half, give themselves, Greenville, a chance to recalibrate in the locker room. For now, it's down to 10 men.
And once again, defense has been solid so far for Greenville. Obviously, defense that starts with the midfield as well as the forwards. It's team effort.
What's been a promising first half from Greenville. That's lacked that final bit of penetration. 3 minutes of stoppage time. Connor Evans gliding down the line, and he's won a throw. Wants to go fast. Mensah unable to tango away. Was losing his balance on the way, and the referee does not give the call. Prosper Kasim in the middle. Stefano Pino. Ostrom and Schneider. Clean work in possession and right on cue. Given right away.
Well, that perhaps sort of tells the story of this first half for Omaha. Whenever they've got to the edge of the final third, the final product has been pretty poor. So there's a foul there, but Papa Mensah, as you can see, pointing and saying, "What about the one on me?" Just a minute or so ago, he's bundled to the ground.
Omaha likely would be happy 0-0 here with how the half has gone. Loop down, edge of the box. Where's Navarro? Akoff hooking one in and able to read the flight. Here's Gunther Rankenberg. I believe that's his first save of the game. 3 consecutive clean sheets for that man. And not kept consecutive since June of 2024. Now up to 7 for the year. Chaseable for Sodal. Unfortunately, so too for Rashid Nuhu.
Of course, those watching this league and seeing goalkeepers hold on to the ball. 8-second rule not in effect in USL this season because it came into effect in the middle of the season.
I'm talking about the new 8-second rule, right?
Yes, we'll see it next season. Referees will indicate when 5 seconds are up.
At the end line, scraped away.
Of course, will be a corner if the goalkeeper is adjudged to have held on to it for more than 8 seconds. We have a corner here for Omaha. Time winding down, probably the last chance of the half here.
Corner kick, Union Omaha.
There's a dangerous man casting a shadow over the ball. Inquiry to be had at the feet of Max Schneider. German with immense quality. And Greenville in his iron sight. Ball in. It dips. It started away. Is there time enough for one last go? Ball in from deep. Evan Lee. The last word in a first half that goes quietly 0-0 at the break.
Yeah, Greenville certainly with the better first half of the first half. This one just couldn't put away some chances by Rapapa Mensah. Union Omaha worked their way into this half, but no shots on target for the visitors as we go to the break.
Inseparable after 45 minutes played here in South Carolina. The battle for the belt is certainly a battle in this one today. In the month of October, Greenville and Omaha scoreless at the intermission. We will come back with halftime coverage on the other end of a break. The Upstate Spine and Sport halftime report on the other end. Once more, 0-0 in this one between Greenville and Union Omaha.
Nobody's watching. Except when people are watching, like your roommate and the new boyfriend you forgot she was bringing over. Believe in yourself. But know your limits, because right before an interview really isn't the time to try being a hairstylist. Anything is possible. So yes, winning is possible. But so is not winning, which means sometimes the best way to play is to save some possibility for another day. The South Carolina Education Lottery, supporting better players and a better you.
At Johnston Orthodontics, we combine art and science to create your perfect smile. After a thorough exam with x-rays and digital models, we design custom aligners tailored just for you. With our on-site 3D resin printer, these designs come to life, ensuring a perfect fit every time. Ready to tame your smile? Call us today at Johnston Orthodontics.
This just in, Union Omaha Soccer is back at Werner Park. Come out and join us for X-Cancer Racing Night on October 5th, Baird Home Bobblehead Giveaway on October 18th, and Fan Appreciation Night on October 25th. Whether it's the heart-stopping action, delicious concessions, or your Owls, the 2024 USL League One champions electrify the pitch. You don't just watch the action, you are the action, and we can't wait to see you. One city, one club, one means all.
Flights from GSP International Airport just got easier. Breeze Airways now offers nonstop flights to 8 cities nationwide. Enjoy low fares, no change or cancellation fees, and convenient nonstop service. Make your next trip seriously nice on Breeze Airways. Visit flybreeze.com to book your flight from GSP today.
Today's halftime score is presented by Upstate Spine and Sport. Neck and neck game. Got you stressed? Let us work out the tension. Call Upstate Spine and Sport, the official chiropractor and massage therapist of the Greenville Triumph. Working up to what's to be an exciting season next year. Plenty of USL teams coming into the fold. Ross says we take a look at the full inventory. Hard not to get the anticipation going beyond this year as we build into the pivotal point in 2025.
Yeah, exciting times, especially a few local rivalries. Now we're going to have 3 teams in Florida, as well as a couple just less than an hour apart in Sarasota and Naples. Always great to have those matchups at the home that make it look easy for the away teams, away fans to get to.
There you go.
Got it there at the end.
Well, there will be venues to get to as well. Plenty of new stadiums under construction in the divisions. Let's take a peek behind the curtain at what's going on with the new league stadiums in the USL League One and Championship.
In the USL, shovels in the ground mean as much as scoring goals. And Sacramento Republic is on its way to transforming the city's rail yard district into a soccer palace. The same is happening in the Motor City, with Detroit City's new home clearing way for stadium construction. Miami FC has unveiled its future home in South Florida, while the Pittsburgh Riverhounds prepare for their stadium expansion, preserving one of the best views in all of sports. The growth is felt as well in League One, with expansion on the way for 2026. The scene changes daily at the site of Fort Wayne's new home, from clearing the area in early June to the sweet sight of concrete and steel in mid-September. All watched closely by Fort Wayne's Director of Communication, Justin Cohn.
Thousands of people literally drive past this thing every day. So how cool is it for everyone to get a chance to see this thing every single day get closer?
Yeah, it's really cool. It's ideally located for people going to and from work, or they're driving down to Indianapolis, and you're seeing it in really at a rapid pace come up. So you're really seeing a lot of the facade of what will be the stands start to come up.
I look at the renderings. First thing I notice is this gigantic video board. So give me some of the neat things about that, because this might be the best thing in League One for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the scoreboard is something I'm really excited about. It'll be the second longest scoreboard in the entire state. So that means it eclipses an NFL stadium. You're going to have a lot of options at Fort Wayne FC Park in terms of watching the matches. There's a lot of possibilities that you can do with the scoreboard.
Fellow League One expansion club Boise is seeing its vision take shape as construction at the park at Expo, Idaho is full speed. And longtime League One club Greenville Triumph has kicked off construction at Bridgeway Station.
Leans back. It's what a hit! Here's Wilson. He stays out, and the Roots have a lead.
Whoa, termites can eat a pound of wood a day. Pound of wood a day.
Pound of wood a day. Pound of wood a day.
What's wrong, Daddy? Daddy? You okay?
Keep termites out of your home and your head with our premium guarantee that covers up to $250,000 in new termite damage. Before panic shows up, Terminix it.
On me. Tell them that's like it.
Wait, come back! Wait, come back, I need more help.
Take a loan off Fanny. Take a loan for free.
Today we went to the beach, and it was
Put the loan right on me.
totally worth it. Get double points this fall at Best Western.
What exactly is a Sully steamer? Our sandwiches are made to order, which means once you've taken a look at our big menu and narrowed down your options, we go to work. Our sandwiches are stuffed with fresh, flavorful ingredients and then placed in our special steamer until the sandwich gets warm and soft and fuses all the flavors together to achieve the peak of tastiness. Are you hungry yet?
The great Evan Lee honored before the game for making his 200th appearance, the first player in the league to reach that mark for a club, Greenville's very own. Certainly worthy of all the acclaim as we look at what is to come, the news and notes from around the league, and plenty of motion from the new clubs. Ross Davenport.
Yeah, big move by Sarasota. Mikael Avar obviously been behind Darren Swatsky in Richmond. Now gets a chance to run his own squad. A bit of new owner in the club Boise, the famous one as well.
Sophia Huerta joining what is becoming a star-studded ownership group in Idaho. And World Cup qualifying Trinidad and Tobago, posting several League One standouts as well. Plenty going on in the USL League One and other USL divisions as we take a glance at what is set to be an exciting weekend, if not determinant, in the USL League One. Already a couple results in.
Yeah, Texoma, Richmond tonight, a bit of a non-factor there. They're both eliminated after that. Charlotte, when you see their top left. Madison trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. Spokane and Tormenta, so looking for playoff positions, and Naples as well, looking looking for points on the road at Westchester.
Swabu the Spectacular at the death for Charlotte Independence, making things quite precarious for Greenville Triumph. They really need to get all 3 points from this game. If they are to do that, they will look to two of their best playmakers, their orchestrators, Connor Evans, Rodrigo Robles in our game, also featuring the one leading the pack for the Golden Playmaker, Charlie Ostrom of Union Omaha with 9 assists from fullback.
Yeah, could certainly use one tonight to get a little more space between him and Jan Makara, who I know scored last night. I'm not sure if he had an assist or not in that one, but a great little race to the end here with some quality midfielders and even defenders as well.
All that sets up for what should be an enthralling, interesting second half here in South Carolina. When we return, second.
Just breathe. Woo! Let's take this thing higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places that never been. We go higher. No stop. Take it to the top even when the ball drops. My man, we go higher. Woo! Let's take this thing. No stop. It's time to go higher.
Welcome to Wood Creek Dental, where dental care is a family tradition. For over 40 years, we're proud to be a family-owned practice serving the community of Greenville, South Carolina. Our experienced dentists and dedicated staff are committed to your oral health. Experience the difference for yourself. Wood Creek Dental. Dental care from our family to yours.
Fox Carolina First Alert Weather, the upstate's most accurate forecast.
That means you can make plans for your family.
Today, tomorrow, and down the road.
Between 1 and 5 in the upstate.
First alert weather day for Tuesday.
Fog out there this morning across some areas.
Some gusty winds.
Fox Carolina First Alert Weather.
Start your morning right.
It's the one thing in the morning. Get you ready for the day.
61 on the way to school.
What to wear out the door this morning.
The first alert on breaking news.
Breaking news now.
To protect your kids.
Totally shut down right now.
This morning's grand opening.
Fox Carolina, the morning news.
El Greenville Triumph y Liberty están orgullosos de asociarse con Telemundo Carolina del Sur para mantenerte informado con noticias locales en español y disfrutar de toda la increíble programación de Telemundo. Disponible con antena en el canal 31.1 y ahora también en Fútbol TV, Hulu Live, Spectrum y YouTube TV.
Today's match is presented by Spectrum, proud partner of the Greenville Triumph. Highlights from a goalless first half here in South Carolina. Greenville Triumph and Union Omaha, and it started early for Greenville as they fashioned plenty of opportunity in the 18-yard box. It would be Papa Mensah missing out this time, saved by Rashid Nuhu.
Yeah, Mensah had 5 shots in that first half alone himself, and this was certainly one of the better chances. The scuff shot by Patti, right to Mensah. Oh, while spinning a little bit, couldn't get it past Nuhu, who's well positioned. Greenville would not relent. They don't have that luxury. Only with their foot on the gas, and Rodrigo Robles has this shot carried tall. His brightest moment of the first half, just couldn't keep that shot down. Little 1-2 with Mensah. Rusu was in the way, and it been enough to put him off. Dane Bob strikes one into the box to be finished by Anthony Patti, but he was offside by a couple of steps. Patti just not really paying attention to where the Omaha defenders were. Rusu almost put him onside. Back out to the live pictures. Two teams rejoining the field of play. Diametrically opposed, both in situation and in terms of their literal standing. Across the line from one another, another installation of the battle for the belt. Union Omaha in the playoff places, all but guaranteed they will at least get a chance to defend their title. Greenville Triumph below the line, needing all 3 points. No plain matter of speaking. Make sure that they control their own destiny at least for another weekend. Keep pace with Charlotte Independence. A race for the final pair of places.
80s throwback night. The DJ putting something on wax, and hopefully it's for the Greenville persuasion, not a sign of things to come. There is no heartbreak in store this evening for them. Omaha would love to be the practitioner of that misfortune. 45 minutes left to go. Only 135 left in this venue in 2025 for Greenville in their penultimate home fixture. They will see South Georgia Tormenta, maybe the hottest team in the league outside of the one they face today. That is another Peach State Derby, the third installation this year. Next Saturday before going away to one Knoxville unbeaten at home. Trying to make sure that they are the first team in league history to go blemishless throughout a full campaign in their home venue. North Texas did it, but that was in one of the shortened seasons. Union Omaha defeating Chattanooga Red Wolves to knock the only other bid for that distinction off course earlier this year, Evan Lee. Robles in the channel, fiddling away at the end line. Not cleared by Wusu. Robles off the block. Enough time to see it in time to intervene. There's Rashid Nuhu. Weather report as we take a look back at this nearly opportunity. Rashid Nuhu will strongly grip. It's a blustery and windy day as this weather report is brought to you by Fox Carolina. Spinning away is Zeke Soto. Sent into the path of Robles.
And the 10th shot for Greenville to only 2 from Omaha. 4 on target now. None for the visitors.
Whistle goes.
8 of those 10 shots inside the box for Greenville. Just still haven't managed to open the scoring.
Knapp. Chopper Herrera just nibbling after the ball in the press. Greenville seemed to be trying to force Union Omaha and distributing long. Those Blue Hose refuse. Smartly winning the foul was Pato Boteo Faz, the veteran. Boteo Faz posted a season-high 4 shots last game against Naples. Hasn't really had a chance to get any clean side of target today.
Yeah, he's got 3 of the 9 Omaha touches inside the Greenville box, but hasn't managed to turn them into any shots so far. Sergio Orz-Navarro and Charlie Ostrom with the only shots for Omaha, both off target.
Now Vincenzo Cantella does have plenty of depth he might be able to turn to. Likes of Ryan Betcher, many others waiting in the wings with plenty of goal-scoring offering. Bounce away from Ajakwa. Strapped down in the middle, Evan Lee. Meddling into a soft spot, but did not meet the ball with enough pace there, and the referee has brought it back for a foul.
Yeah, that's for Greenville in the substitution situation. You have to think Rick Wright at some point here is going to just try and throw everything at it. Nothing to lose in this game. Got to get 3 points, otherwise your season is basically over.
Again, Greenville, if they are defeated today, would be in a position where they wouldn't be mathematically eliminated, but Charlotte would be within 1 point of their magic number.
Yeah, luckily for Greenville, Charlotte's goal difference is pretty close to theirs. Charlotte have had some heavy defeats this season at times.
First tiebreaker is overall wins. Greenville a bit deficient in that department with only 8 on the year. Ball in from Evans. Zane Bubb was lurking. Omaha do enough. Brandon Knapp with Rodway. Sprinting back to at least put a thought in his mind was Soto. Evan Lee's giving it right back. Akoff wheeling away. Dion Akoff blurring to the end line. Shut down by Lee. At the top of the box, it's Max Schneider. Shuffling away from Pino at the back stick. Soto will let it roll out for a throw.
Max Schneider snatched it out a little bit. Just going to take it his time, had a crack. He just swung it in there.
It's another immense effort from Evan Lee to cover all that ground to knock Akoff off a trajectory that was taking him into the box. Hung up for Ponto Boteo Faz. Dispatched by Greenville and Chapa Herrera. Wasn't shy about rolling the ball out himself. On the 1-2, it's hit the referee. Play allowed to continue, or not. Now, correct me on this if it's not the proper reading of the situation, but that's supposed to play like advantage on a foul, correct?
Not sure what referee Klemp is doing. He obviously did hit him, but there was no advantage given to either side. The ball was intended for Chapo Herrera. It probably would have got to him regardless.
And that is the calculus, right? It's supposed to play like advantage on a foul, yes?
Yeah, I mean, unless referee Klemp thought that his touch really benefited Chapo Herrera, I didn't think it did.
That touch does not benefit Connor Evans as it gets off his toes and out for a throw.
Nice one there on Greenville.
Greenville with Fangs out, firing into the final third, scooped away from Evan Lee. Regathered by Fricky. Left in the path of Zeke Soto. Connor Evans. Able to accelerate past Sergio Ors Navarro. Zooming over the line off the foot of Zane Bupp.
Doing some quick research, Peyton. The rule is if it does start a promising attack for a team, the ball is considered out of play and comes back. So I think the promising attack had already started with the initial ball from Evan Lee. I don't think it really changed the angle of the ball at all. I think it would have reached Herrera regardless, but interesting decision for sure.
If anything, it made Chapo Herrera's job harder to try and settle the ball, work it out on his first touch, but again, it's irrelevant bringing it up now. Just part of the footnote history of a game that has much consequence. Trying to add some of that is Prosper Kasim, and now Charlie Ostrom, who pitches in across. Akoff on his horse and does get there out of the line. Guiding into Sergio Ors Navarro, who, despite his acrobatics, has not caused much of a panic in goal. So, it's still 0-0, and there's less time to play. Greenville likely set to start playing this like they are down a goal.
Yeah, Omaha with the .08 XG. Something we've been seeing from them lately. Give credit to Greenville.
Stroking wide, it's Ostrom. Set upon by two, and it's out for a corner. Rare chance to apply some pressure on the Greenville goal from Union Omaha. Still yet to score a goal here on this ground this year. Shut out in their first game of the season, 3-0 here in South Carolina. Max Schneider prepares what is a sharp blade. Ball in, Rankenberg not able to get there. Knapp took too much time releasing the effort on goal. It is blocked out by Ropapa-Mensah.
Good about Ropapa-Mensah's shots in the first half. He's played very well defensively as well today. Massive block there. He's had a couple of clearing headers earlier on.
The wind is blowing faintly away from the Greenville goal now. This time it belongs to Charlie Ostrom. Tuned into the box, turned away, foul call. Rodrigo Robles is down. Looks like there may have just been a clash of heads. Robles is back on his haunches.
Robles not a man afraid to stick his head in there. Little rubber bits off him. Just like every player does that plays on turf. after the game. You shake your boots out, get all the little rubber bits out.
Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Greenville fans will only have one more chance to do that this year with a game against South Georgia Tormenta. All but out of the contest for the home playoff seeds, unlike their opponent today, Union Omaha. Cross coming, Robles shows an interest, goes down. The referee appears to have made a decision, and it will be simulation to Rodrigo Robles. He's drawn a couple penalties this year, but not going to get that whistle. Confirmation of the caution.
Let's take a look at the replay, see what Robles was trying to do here. Brucey was on the ground playing the ball. Got stepped on, I think, first by Robles, but then tried to turn it into a foul against him. And instead earns himself a yellow card. We talked about Greenville's last time game. So they're starting to take season ticket deposits for next season. Fans will be able to pick their seats at the new stadium. Obviously, I don't think it'll be ready for the start of the season, but certainly at some point in the next campaign.
Building the foundation in the literal sense right now for what is to be the new and exciting chapter for this club. Slotted infield for Boteo Foz. Approaching the hour mark, gotta imagine both managers will be looking into their dugout soon. Tenzo Candela has been a bit of a master in terms of pushing those buttons in game. Omaha have gained 11 goals from substitutes this year. The fact that when brought up to Vincenzo Candela maybe made him light up more than anything in our conversation with him.
Yes.
Said that at the point where he took over, it was one of the metrics he was keeping tabs on. They had only had one goal from an alteration. Think back to the moments where players he's put in places have changed games. This is placed in the path of Stefano Pino, and he's dispossessed. One that springs to mind is Sergio Orz-Navarro bouncing off the bench for a pair of quick-fire goals to reverse a 2-0 deficit against Spokane at home a couple of weeks ago. Youngest manager in the league, in fact, young enough to have played against Prosper Kasim.
Yes, he did mention that as well. As a player, you do remember those guys that you thought impressed you. You had the best view in the place when you play against them and say, this guy really gave me trouble when I played. Let me try and get him on my team when I manage.
Just seems eager to do the job, which is such a big part. Has completely reversed the course of an Omaha season that was well off their standard, which is always the very highest in the division, and heightening in the approach. Boteo Foz wouldn't have counted. Play is recalled, but Brendan Fricke not putting a foot wrong.
Boteo Foz was offside on the original ball in.
Ball is brought back. It looks like it will be Union Omaha on the restart.
Maybe not.
Tune in to Triumph's next home game. That's at 7 p.m. on Saturday, October 18th versus South Georgia Tormenta. Trying to see exactly what kind of stakes will be on offer here in the next half hour here. No, not literal stakes. You can go to the Fansays app if you have interest in those instead.
I've heard Omaha was famous for them, apparently. Oops.
Evan Lee is doing somersaults, and a yellow card has been shown. Looks like to Dion Akoff.
I think it might have been to Brandon Knapp, actually, with a foul before Akoff tried to get a piece of Evan Lee.
Good eye.
To Union Omaha's number 15.
Fourth caution of the year to that man. Came off the bench last game. It was his first time not starting in 16. Was the team's leader in substitute appearances last year. He's really nailed down his spot in this team, trying to defend the title that is embodied The badge on the shoulders of all these Omaha players.
He's been a real Swiss Army knife. Vinny Candela can play absolutely anywhere in the midfield, as well as right back. Playing a little bit there recently, and center back too this season.
Union Omaha starting to really grow into the game, it feels like. Greenville have been blunted so far in this half. Had the chances early, didn't cash them in. Prosper Kasim. It gets away from Patti. Cross is blocked at the edge of the area. Looked like by Patti as well. Once more throw.
We talked about what this game means for Greenville and a result. Obviously Omaha at one point it wouldn't be great for them, depending on what happens later with Naples as well as Spokane ahead of them. They want to try and get that home quarterfinal. So we'll be looking at results elsewhere if they don't pick up the 3 points tonight.
Delivered wide by Prosper Kasim. Angling. Dion Akoff. Inlaid to Brandon Knapp. No particular hurry, Union Omaha.
It seems like Omaha are just playing a little safe. Just trying not to get caught too far forward, not to get anybody hurt. A little more courage in that final third.
You would imagine having secured their playoff berth.
It there.
As the ball is snatched away, Omaha with a win today and results falling elsewhere could move into the home playoff games. Under siege now. St. Bob couldn't get out of the blocks once more on the counter. He's out in front, the center back. Never gets there though.
Somewhere we're used to seeing him.
Third or fourth time that he's been right at the tip of the spear. I guess that is the luxury when you're playing with three at the back. Greenville really playing more of a flat four today, the way that Ponte has gotten into the attack, but three natural center backs in the formation.
Yeah. Ponte was brought in. It's a good option with the left foot. Either at left back or left center back.
Coincided with Greenville posting clean sheets in 3 consecutive games. Could be 4 today. Well over, I should say, approaching 400 minutes at this point without conceding a goal. Longest streak of consecutive goalless defensive performances since 2021. All-time mark is 6. So technically they could get there before the end of the year. Chested down, Rodrigo Robles. Able to make much of that. Now Max Schneider with long legs strides out of the back. Evan Lee. Is there a soul for this Omaha defensive riddle? Chapo Herrera, Ropapa Mensah left the ball in harm's way. Lands heavily on the foot, Jose Soto. Who wants the ball? Collision, Soto goes to ground as well as Coleman, and Soto is called. That's the 3rd or 4th foul we've seen from him. Still yet to have his name taken though.
Yeah, this was interesting. Both players battling at it. Both players have hooked each other. I guess Soto technically with the hook over the arm of Coleman, but most referees would have been happy to let that one go. 50-50 battle.
So they soldier on.
Vinny Candela said Brent Coleman's really turned into one of the best defenders in the league. Great in the air, obviously. Become more vocal as the season's gone on.
Scouting ball over the top. St. Bob will let it lie. Looks like Ryan Betcher, Maloney from St. Louis City 2, is being put through the final preparation. Came off the bench last game as well, but prior to that had been excellent for this Omaha attacking outfit. Really the season turned around with a couple of factors, but one of them was the introduction of Ryan Betcher into the team. the throw-in.
Betcher.
To the discontent of Ponto Boteo Foz.
Yeah, I thought that was going Omaha's way. Betcher starting a lot more over the summer. Hasn't played as much recently. Going to make an impact here. Bench.
Substitution for Union Omaha.
And it's a pair of changes for Rick Wright and his men as well. Pascal Corvino, as well as the diminutive Jamaican Siobhan Marsh called upon. Rodrigo Robles, despite his ingenuity in moments today, looks like he's met the end of his line. See who else makes way for Corvino. You would have to imagine Ivan Ajakwa is the one that would be most naturally replaced, as Rodrigo Robles is doing his ready best to see if he can't maybe remain in the game heading away from the substitutes. Prosper Kasim is the one who makes the spot for Ryan Betcher.
At this time, we would like to announce today's Michelob Ultra Zero State Driver of the match. Today's winner is Shelly Ferguson. Congratulations, Shelly, and thank you for taking the Michelob Ultra Zero State Driver.
Being told Evan Lee is set to be the other one that subs out of the game. He had run really hard. Apparently has run himself a bit ragged. The substitutions will have to wait for at least a moment. Maybe that moment's now. Something causing play. That's the substitutions. Evan Lee, over 200 appearances, not beyond the 67th minute. Siobhan Marsh comes on. Historically has had success against Union Omaha. 3 career goals against them. Also important to note, Leo Castro's waiting in the wings. His 4 career goals against Union Omaha. Tied for the most by any player against the Owls. Despite all that time missed, his 7 goals, still the leading goal scorer for the club.
An idea of where Pascal Corvino will go. He can slot in more of an attacking midfield role. He played right back last game.
Jacqua. And Fricky. Greenville need to resummon the rhythm. And a bit off the pace in this half. Siobhan Marsh.
This game has been played at a pretty pedestrian pace except for the first couple of minutes. Siobhan Marsh now looking to add a bit of instant impact in that department.
Ostrom didn't hear the footsteps. The referee has given another foul against Zeke Soto. Is that Chapa Herrera?
Soto claiming he got the ball. Chapa may have a word on the way by.
Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus your live matches from the USL, MLS Premier League, and more on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
Shout out to the Omaha fans watching back in Nebraska at the Raskeller Beer House. I'm sure wrapping up their Oktoberfest proceedings with some pretzels, etc.
Betcher into the box. Pino. Akoff's ball. Boteo Foz. Brought back in by Ostrom. It hits the woodwork and out. Of course, you were taking in the Oktoberfest proceedings, and I think you did that a little bit more up close and personal than Omaha, Nebraska, correct?
A little bit, yeah. I got to go to Munich for a few days. Thanks to my brother. Shout out to him and the beer company that he deals with that took me out there on their dime. It's always fun. And yeah, I had a good time out there.
Bavaria will never be the same.
Certainly something everybody should try and do. I'd say one day is enough. At the actual Oktoberfest, quite the experience.
Pretzel hates to see Ross Davenport coming, as do Greenville triumph with Union Omaha.
Got to try some Weisswurst as well, which is a breakfast sausage that's not supposed to be eaten before after midday. Tradition is that it turns to poison after that. Obviously, that's not exactly true, but
yeah, that just seems like a lie.
More of a breakfast sausage. It was very tasty.
Well, speaking of indigestible, Greenville triumph
Listen,
Must find a way to at least get something on the offensive end.
Listen, as an Englishman, I can't talk about Brazilian too much.
No comment. Siobhan Marsh. Toddling away, and with the takedown, the foul is given again. Referee has set a very clear line in the sand of how much physicality he's willing to stomach.
Talks about Union Omaha and their crosses. They've attempted 25 in this game, higher than their season average in USL League One. Unfortunately, still seeking their first shot on target here in the 71st minute.
Brent Coleman. 20 minutes left. Game just escaping Greenville Triumph, who need to get all 3 points. Down in the gap by Betcher. And just confiscated by Brendan Fricke. Now Pascal Corvino opening up and evaluating the attacking options. There were none.
Yeah, he sort of threw his hands up there, saying, somebody give me an option. Looks like Greenville feeling this point of the season in the legs, just not enough movement up top, not enough options, not enough creativity. Obviously the finishing wasn't there earlier when they did get the chances. We talked about Greenville's remaining schedule. Omaha with 2 home games to finish off. Madison next week, their season could basically be over by that point. Midwest Derby, and then at home against Spokane. May still be fighting certainly for a top 2 spot. We'll see.
Today's match being the last time they will travel this year in regular season play. If they can win, it puts them on course potentially to not have to travel in the first round. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now.
Well, Spokane in 3rd at the moment, 5 points behind Knoxville, with 2 games in hand on One Knox. So those could come into play. There's still a big battle in the middle of the playoff pack. Going to be a lot of changes coming down these final 2 weeks.
Zane Bupp muscled into the box. Takes a dangerous hop, but brave enough to deal. This Matt Schneider. Off the head of, looks like Siobhan Marsh there in the middle. Now Corvino back in for Marsh, who cannot put a leash to a bullet pass. Straight off his laces. Knew who was there.
That was the pass we've been looking for all game for me. The team defense splitting. Unfortunately, Marsh's first touch let him down slightly. As you mentioned, Payne did have a ton of pace on it. The issue for Marsh was it was going to take a beautiful touch.
Yellow card to Zeke Soto, certainly for persistent infringement. This is about the 6th or 7th time he's been whistled today.
Look at it. Corvino, what a ball that was. Yeah, the first touch. Instead of taking it with the right foot, Marsh tried to knock it with the outside of his left foot. That was perhaps the mistake.
It's a dangerous delivery out of the back. Soto's onto it. Numbers for Greenville. Soto's left it behind him. And now foul is called. Yellow card to Owusu.
Owusu is incensed by that decision. Soto just lost his balance and Owusu let him fall. Evans saying he pulled him down. Evans certainly will want to crack at this one. It's a little close though. Let's take a look at it here. I mean, I think Owusu's got a point. Didn't seem to be a ton of contact there. Soto just left the ball behind him.
Again, it's pretty wasteful from Greenville. You do get the foul, but it was a 4-on-2 there. Zeke Soto having the one thing that couldn't happen have happened in that moment is bailed out by a foul.
Certainly the latest of some interesting decisions from referee Kleb tonight. We'll go with that as a descriptor. Now Evans with a chance here. I think he's the favorite to have a crack.
And what's interesting is because you've got the football lines on the field, the referee can accurately measure out exactly 10 yards that the wall has to be back.
They're a little off. Offline, but yeah, looks right about. They're creeping forward those, they always do.
The question becomes, now do you try and hit it straight through the wall? or try and get it up and down from this tight end. It's Ajakwa and Connor Evans that will provide the answer to that very question. Evans has a second go, this time with much less spite. He did try to go the direct route. Breaks on. Oh, that's trouble for Brendan Fricke, who's fortunate that Chopper Herrera was behind him.
Yeah, Herrera and Ajakwa, that was the first place I looked. Fricke with a professional foul. A well-timed one of that.
Has issued a caution to Greenville's number 5, Brandon Fricke, in the
Just left his foot in there. Fricke was making sure it was the correct color. Some offensive option here with Michael Gonzalez.
Entering the match, number 17, Michael
Zeke Soto
Gonzalez.
on the booking, probably smartly yanked out of the game.
In the 76th minute.
We've seen Gonzalez bring some class off the bench on occasion this season offensively. Certainly hasn't got as many minutes as he would have liked to this season. Was hampered by injury early on. Speaking of injury,
Monterey Bay player is, looks like that's Ryan Betcher who's down, who was just subbed on.
still feeling that challenge from Brandon Fricke.
Scenarios, Vincenzo Candela. Working wide, Ostrom. Zane Bubb at full stretch to try and get back. Sergio Ors Navarro, free at the back post, saved away. It's a heroic stop from Gunther Rankenberg, who keeps things square.
Omaha finally with a shot on target.
Down the other end, Ropapa Mensah in a race with Owusu. Owusu going to keep balance enough to get clear. And foul is called.
Pino's going to want that one back. I think he just sort of lost his balance right at the last minute. He ended up on the ground after the shot, but don't take anything away from that save from Rankenberg. He had to scramble across the goal here. Make a decision, went down to his left. That's a strong save.
Just put it in the one place the goalkeeper could have an intervention, and boy did he.
Yeah, Pino's best decision may have been to go back across goal. Knowing that the goalie was coming that way, but the man and bodies in the way, made the decision to go near post. Rankenberg was up to the task.
Herrera lifting one to Siobhan Marsh, who skips one straight into the breadbasket of Rashid Newhill. Chances have been there all game.
And things opening up now. Brent Coleman asking Mensah was offside, but he wasn't worried. Could have had a shout that Mensah was involved in the play there. He was close enough to the ball. That would have gone in. Would have been an interesting decision for our assistant referee on this near side.
Ostrom galloping away, guiding one in field for Sergio Ors Navarro. Schneider and Owusu. Betcher on the half turn. Seems he's refastened all necessary equipment and will continue. Intercepted. On the move, Greenville. Golfing forward for Siobhan Marsh. Speedily away. Nobody for company. Off the foot of Betcher, given away again. Patti intercepting once more. Ajakwa, now Siobhan Marsh. Shuffling beyond the reach of both Ajakwa and Gonzalez.
substitutions for Union Omaha.
So it's a goal kick, and a whole bundle of changes by both teams.
Number 18, Mark Bronick.
A change in triplicate from Vincenzo Candela, Mark Brunick, Lawrence Wooten, and Joe Gallardo. On the other end, Leo Castro. Return in front of these fans, long awaited. Played in the last couple of games, but both of them on the road. They have not seen their marquee man, these South Carolinian faithful. In many moons, they will in the final 10 minutes here. Last time between the four lines at Paladin Stadium against this opposition, Leo Castro scored 2. He scored 4 all time on Union Omaha, as many as any man. Will he be their man now?
Certainly would be a timely time to find the back of the net for the veteran. Party comes out, so Greenville definitely going 3 at the back now. Right, going to throw everything at this the last 10 minutes. Mensa and Castro up top. Siobhan Marsh is impressed since coming on. A little bit of disconnection there on the last couple of through balls, but he's impressed for sure since coming off the bench.
Gotta imagine that maybe Ivan Ajakwa is dropping a little bit deeper now. Floated high. Connor Evans searching into Leo Castro, whose first touch is a little bit rusty, if not rickety. It's in the sky, and Pato Boteo Foz has fumbled it out of play for a goal kick.
It looks like Ajakwa might go to left back. He has played there this season.
Fans, don't miss the action. Secure tickets today at triumphtix.com. Smashed down as Ajakwa. He's taking a beating today.
He's got the physical ability to do it, though. Ajakwa certainly given a free roll here to try and get down that wing. Provide a little more instant offense in these final 10 or so minutes. But draw really doesn't do Greenville anything.
Artfully away as Michael Gonzalez, now in the middle, inhabiting the very central region of the park. Chapa Herrera churning wide. Ajakwa uncontested. Crashing in a ball. Kept on by Evans. Or maybe not.
I'm assuming Charlie Ostrom heard the whistle.
If not, he is quite bold. Would have been the worst handball of all time.
We've seen some bad ones.
Substitutes really starting to open up the attack, though, for Greenville. Siobhan Marsh. Sprinkling wide for Ajakwa. Heaving forward towards Mensa, away by Owusu. Tamed by Schneider. Darted forward, dispossessed. Zane Bubb now cut out, sliding in and not winning is Connor Evans. 3v2, Brunick is wide. It's Mark Brunick! Breezing wide. And Greenville heave a heavy sigh.
The youngster's played so well this season, but that wasn't one of his finest moments. Just tried to go high to beat Gunther Rankenberg. First touch was good. Took him onto his left foot. Rankenberg was out to close down the angle. Brunick tried to go tuck corner.
Evans flying one into the box for Rashid Nuhu to easily deal with.
The draw would leave Greenville 5 points adrift of Charlotte Independence. So depending what Madison does later today, they may jump above Greenville, so they still have another team to jump above as well to consider.
South Georgia in a place where if they can conjure the result today, they can all but determine where they'll be, at least in terms of which side of the line they exist on at the final 3 whistles 2 weeks from now. Ostrom.
Greenville wouldn't have to worry about goal difference if they win their last 2 and Charlotte lose their last 2, which they would if they lost this game. It would come down to goal difference. They would both be tied with 12 wins if that was the case. Excuse me, 10 wins.
Takes a while to get there as well, but if somehow they were level on both those measurements of account, Greenville do hold the head-to-head matchup against Charlotte. Worked into the box. Looked like for a second it might just wriggle free of Owusu. Chakwa onto the loose ball, and now Michael Gonzalez. It's a barrage from Greenville. It's skill from Gonzalez, and belted away as it came across the face for Papamensa. USL Championship and League One are on the CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports, Golazo Network, and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Wooten. Greenville snatch it up. Mensah and Herrera on a high arc in the direction of an on-running Greenville player. And regathered. Gonzalez. Papamensa. Is there a better dream to be dreamt by Greenville Triumph? Wide for Castro. Could not find the spryness in those long limbs.
I thought Connor Evans had the time and space to perhaps take a crack there from distance, and we could hit him.
He has scored one of similar stature on the air, this time providing plenty of cut and thrust in the tackle. Just want to throw. Greenville sense the moment. You get the idea that there's a sharp understanding of what's on the line, how dire their straits will be. They cannot find a goal ahead here against their hated rival. Skied in. Oh.
Almost caught napping.
Did get there. Ivan Ajakwa had a very similar moment at the death against Richmond earlier this year. This time the goalkeeper able to turn it away.
It didn't look initially like the header had enough power to bother Nuhu. Perhaps the bounce landing where it was gave him a little more trouble than he expected.
With the wind in the face of Connor Evans, and with an outswinging ball, Greenville on final threads. It's a good ball. It's saved away by Nuhu. Second chance. Fricky is denied.
You can't say they've had their chance. They haven't had their chances, Greenville. Many came early through Mensah. Now they're coming late through other people. Watch out.
Break is on. There's a man in the middle in Bronick. The ball does not get there. Gets away from Siobhan Marsh and is wisely headed back to the goalkeeper. Gonzalez at the canter. Sprung into Leo Castro, the veteran who's played on just about every continent here in South Carolina, and with a strike in behind. The flag is down. It's Siobhan Marsh, and the flag does pop.
Yeah, timing just a little off for Siobhan Marsh. Charlotte do play on Friday next week, so Greenville will know their status coming into that game against Tormenta next Saturday. If Charlotte win that game, Greenville will be eliminated.
They can stave that reality off at least for another week. If there's something left in this, the next 90 seconds and stoppage time. 90 seconds on 90 minutes at this point. That's a well-placed pass between lines. Corvino. Pascal Corvino on a dime. Left for Evans. And Mensah. Papamensa! Sprung over goal by Rashid Nuhu. A save for the ages in Union Omaha. Keep it level at 0-0.
We've seen Pascal Corvino unleash them from here. This time it was Mensah. Looked like I thought he hit the bar initially, but yeah, he knew he must have got the save if the corner was given. Referee was going to come back and call it an advantage. Mensah got the shot away.
In by Evans. Marsh, the little man, winning the second ball. It's a throw-in for Greenville. Fricky peeling towards the corner. It's gotten away from him. Boteo Faz. Chapo Herrera doing exactly what was required. Marsh winning another header. Winning the ball firmly is Bob. Siobhan Marsh sees the spare man. Releasing to Gonzalez. Played too narrow. A mad dash at the end into stoppage time. Providing the run downfield is Brunick. Fricky perfectly in place. 3 minutes.
This is a sort of desperation we'd seen earlier in the game from Greenville. What's on the table here? Find a late winner.
A season at its pivotal points. In the final third, Greenville triumph. Michael Gonzalez over goal.
Substitution for Union Omaha.
Omaha will make a change. The clock, at least in terms of the time that has actually come into account in the stoppage time, will stop for now. Ryan Jiba is on, a defender for a striker. Boteo Foz, the one that makes way for the new entrants. Off the head of Jiba, who appears to be on the left flank to start. Greenville need to make inroads. They need to do that as urgently as possible. They've had 16 shots in this game, yet to find a goal. And under real duress, it's Brunick and Jiba. Ryan Jiba settling. Brunick cleared off the line. Living to fight another day. Greenville triumph. Maybe looking to do a little bit more. Ropapa Mensa in pursuit. Owusu goes down easy. And the decision is what? Is it a corner or is it a foul? It looks like it's a foul. A chance for Greenville moments ago. Rather, it was Omaha the other end.
Yeah, Mike Brunick passed the ball too early. That allowed Rankenberg to get out of Brunick. Either should have gone himself or drawn the keeper in. Did neither. As a result, it's still 0-0.
A hardy header from Fricky. A second one from him. A chest from Ajakwa. 30 seconds left. Corvino goes down. Won't get the call. Betcher. Brunick! Saved by Rankenberg. Gotta go.
Brunick could have had a hat trick off the bench in this one. Last chance here, surely, for the home team.
Gonzalez.
Into the box.
Chapa Herrera. Charting in for Leo Castro, who is able to keep it just about. Castro at stretch. Still there. Leo Castro down. Zane Bub! The flag is up.
Zane Bub may be saying that it came off an Omaha player.
Likely the end. Likely the end.
Let's take a little look at this on the replay. Ball bounces down. Oh, wow.
Triumph 0, Omaha 0.
The end. It's controversy in the final throes of what was a wild game in the battle for the belts. Neither side gives an inch. It finishes square at 0-0.
Yeah, certainly a fun last 10 minutes, but Greenville too little, too late. They will take a point, keep themselves alive, at least until Friday night.
Much to think about, much to mull. 0-0 the final score. Greenville unable to get what they needed here in this game. Union Omaha get a point on the road. We'll break it down when we return.
Welcome to Wood Creek Dental, where dental care, from our family to yours.
This just in, Union Omaha Soccer is back at Werner Park. Come out and join us for X-Cancer Racing Night on October 5th, Baird Home Bobblehead Giveaway on October 18th, and Fan Appreciation Night on October 25th. Whether it's the heart-stopping action, delicious concessions, or your Owls, the 2024 USL League One champions electrify the pitch. You don't just watch the action, you are the action, and we can't wait to see you. One city, one club, one means all.
This is the controversial element to this one. Coleman with the touch here. Watch Lawrence Wooten. I think, or maybe it is Coleman on the edge of the box. Does he get the touch? But plays it through to Zane Bubb. In that case, he would have been onside. Anyway, it doesn't count. This one finishes scoreless.
That was the final action of the game. These were the highlights that preceded that. Greenville triumphed Union Omaha. It was scoreless at the end. Somewhat of a surprise that it got there based on the amount of action we saw. It started early. Rashid Nuhu able to make the catch on this instance.
Yeah, Greenville certainly with great early chances and great late chances as well as they push bodies forward. Perhaps a little too late for Nick Knight's man. Perhaps see a little more desperation. This was a lovely chance for Siobhan Marsh. And the touch of his outside of his left foot just a little too heavy. Took it all the way through to Rashid Nuhu. Substitute Pascal Covina with the delivery though. That's what this game was waiting for. Nuhu picked them up big late in this one.
Everything livened up late. Sergio Ors Navarro providing an excellent chance. Able to finish. Fonto Boteo Faz come from Lankenberg, keeping a clean sheet. It's 4 consecutive for Greenville. Unfortunate for the home side not to get a goal. Great chance here from Siobhan Barsh.
This one, one of the easier saves of the second half for Rashid Nuhu. Barsh just smashing it by that. The veteran keeper.
In the late stages now. She knew who required as he scrambled over to his left and carried one away.
Same Bob with his trademark long throws. This one caused Nuhu a little more trouble than it looked like it was going to. Had the best save of the evening probably from Nuhu as he tipped it one over the bar. Mark Bryan could come off the bench and could have found himself with a hat-trick. A little too unselfish here to try to find Jiba instead. Brandon Fricky who clears it off the line. So I think the youngster been so impressive this season. He should have just taken that himself and finished the game.
Left alive, Greenville. They would dodge another bullet here.
And this one almost cut through the wickets of Gunther Rankenberg. Shut them just in time. So we got that late chance. St. Bob was ruled offside earlier. Look at your final stats in this one. Greenville certainly dictated the tempo in this game. Just couldn't find the back of the net when they desperately needed to.
Same story as with Chattanooga. Plenty of pressure, not the end product, and despite 7 shots on target, Greenville unable to claim victory against Union Omaha here at home as they have their fate hanging in the balance heading into next weekend.
All eyes will be on that Charlotte game at Chattanooga, at home against Chattanooga on Friday night. A win for Charlotte there would eliminate Greenville from playoff contention.
Rick Wright rallying his men as the final push is upon us. It was a game for the storybook between Greenville Triumph and Union Omaha. Despite the score, it did not go quietly at the end. Final accounting, it reads 0-0 for our entire cast and crew and my partner, Lost Devonport folks. I've been Peyton Gallagher. We will talk to you soon.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.